Alessandra Abu Zahr is a Lebanese-American student at the London Business School. She's among 700,000 foreign students in the UK who could be forced to leave the country immediately after graduation. That's because the government's considering changing the current student visa scheme that allows graduates to live and work in the UK for a few years after completing their studies.
One of the main benefits of coming to a school like LBS is it's a great entry point into the London job market, or even for the ones who were based here before, it's a way to stay. And if you don't have permanent residency, if you're not a British citizen or had the pre-settlement status with Brexit, it's a way to stay. And if you can't, then you have 60 days to leave.
Alessandra initially came to the UK on a work visa, but switched to a student visa when she started her MBA, on the basis she could stay for a few years post-graduation, but that is no longer guaranteed. Already, the government tightened restrictions on foreign students, banning them from bringing any family members to the UK unless they are studying for a PhD.
All of my classmates from Latin America are coupled and married off. All of the majority of my classmates from the Middle East and from Asia have spouses. So it heavily affects certain regions, and I mean, you can argue whether that's like unfair or that like changes the talent pool or whatnot, but it means that certain regions are going to get less opportunities to come.
It's no surprise then that the number of foreign students enrolled at British universities has dropped by 44% in January, according to data from Universities UK, which represents 73 different institutions.
The higher education sector is also facing a funding crisis, with the independent regulator warning that 40% of universities will end the year in financial deficit. That's because university finances rely heavily on foreign students, who pay significantly higher fees than British citizens.
The foreign students, in our view, are incredibly important. You know, they bring all the obvious advantages of cultural diversity, coming from different systems, academic excellence. They add to the local economy. If they stay on, if they're allowed to stay on, and they graduate, you know, they bring so much to UK universities. Yes, there is now an over-reliance on foreign students because of this funding gap with domestic students.
And according to education consultancy William Clarence, while demand is still strong for top universities, it is the lower tier, smaller institutions that are under threat.
I absolutely haven't seen a big shift away from those top, Oxford and Cambridge, obviously, and the other Russell Group universities. What a number of universities are already doing are rationalising. So they're looking at their courses, they're looking at some modules, they're possibly looking at subjects, and they're making changes.
Even those who've already graduated and secured employment risk having their job offers rescinded after the government raised the minimum salary threshold they need to secure a work visa, with reports that some employers like HSBC and consultancies KPMG and Deloitte have withdrawn job offers because of the salary change, according to a report in the Financial Times newspaper. The current situation marks a major shift in policy. Back in 2019, the government launched an international education strategy aimed at attracting 600,000 foreign students every year by giving them the right to live and work for a few years after graduation. And since then, foreign students have contributed £60 billion to the economy.
Bringing down legal migration numbers is one of the top electoral promises of the current government. That's why Rishi Sunak is targeting foreign students, saying he only wants to attract the best and the brightest and wants to avoid any abuse of the graduate visa system. But others warn that the current policies could threaten the future of higher education in the country. Carina, Kamel, Arabiya English, London.